Texas Podcast Massacre contains spoilers and adult language. For more horror, visit us at our website at texaspodcastmassacre.com.
Welcome to another episode of Texas Podcast Massacre, coming to you from Houston, Texas. I'm your host, Mitch, and with me, as always, is the Hedorah to my Godzilla, Nate.
It probably came from a sticky, dark planet far, far away. Now go to sleep.
Yeah, I mean, just stating facts. You know, good. And of course, as always, our queen of unsuspecting victims, Lisa.
Go Godzilla.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Well, we are wrapping up our Japanuary month with a double header. Just to catch up. We're ending with kind of, I don't know. I mean, this isn't certainly one of the older ones, but this movie was back in the 70s. You always
save the best for last. Right?
We will debate that. Well, welcome to another episode of Texas Podcast Massacre, where each week we take a look at a different horror movie and debate a horror-related topic with our unsuspecting victims, who is usually someone we would not consider a horror fan. So wrapping it up, we just put out an episode a few days ago for Onibaba. Great, fantastic movie. Really, I just can't say enough good things about it. And then we're totally 180-degree pivot to Godzilla versus Hedorah.
Hedorah.
I don't know. Well, I tried to figure out how they pronounce it in the movie, but I forgot. Anyway, big sludge monster. So
Hedorah the Explorer, I believe. That's how you remember it. It's kid friendly. There's a kid who's like entire dialogue in this movie is just yelling at Godzilla. There's a kid in this movie who is just like a cheerleader for Godzilla the entire movie. It's awesome.
Well, yeah. I mean, look, if you got to root for one thing to destroy your whole town, I guess you want it to be the dinosaur. I don't know. Either way, that's what we're talking about this week. Nate, just explain. Before we get into it, really, you love this film. Can you kind of explain the fascination, where this came from? Because this is your favorite of the Godzilla movies. Is that right?
This is my favorite one. Yes. And I've seen all of the originals. So all of them. And there are some trash. Son of Godzilla. Wow. Highly recommend not watching that. One of my least favorite movies of all time.
Is this it? So you like this?
So I got into Godzilla during the pandemic. I got into Godzilla. Actually, the gateway was Mothra. God, we got to do Mothra at some point. That's one of my all-time favorites. But yeah, saw Mothra for some reason, and then got into Godzilla, and got into Gamera, and all of the other kind of kaiju monster Japanese movies, and they're all fantastic. So. A lot of them are fantastic. Not all of them individually.
I know we did.
But in general, they're all fantastic.
Yeah, I know we did Godzilla King of the Godzilla versus Kong. Did we do King of the Monsters?
No, we didn't.
Did you enjoy King of the Monsters?
Absolutely not. Did not care for it.
Oh, that's disappointing. Actually, mildly. I enjoyed it for that was one of those I think I watched it on an airplane, right? It's one of those cool.
They did Mothra real dirty in that one.
They did do Mothra. If you're a Mothra fan,
come on, what are we even doing here?
They did Mothra.
Mothra is amazing. He's not like a D level character in that one. But no, got into Godzilla movies, and my son really liked him, and so we watched them kind of in order, and then he kind of had his favorites. This is one of them. He would just say, "I want to watch Smog Monster." And then I asked for his review today of this movie, and he said, I don't like the smog monster as much now. It's too creepy. So that's my son's review. That's my son's review of this film. But there's Abira, Horror of the Deep, which is a giant crab one, also a classic. It's basically a James Bond movie with Godzilla and Mothra from the 60s, like a 60s spy movie with Godzilla and Mothra. That's another classic. And then they get very ridiculous with aliens and multiple aliens, and then the aliens come back again with upgrades to the things that Godzilla beat the last time. There's team ups. There's like the original Avengers. At one of the movies has like literally every monster in it that was ever in the movies for like the first 15 years. I mean, it's just some incredible stuff going on. Highly recommend watching most of them. They're very good. So that's how I came to like this one.
All right. Well, look, we're gonna do something a little different. We haven't, before we get into this movie, and trust me, I think Lisa and I have some things to discuss with Nate on this one. Look, we haven't actually. So we always ask for reviews. We actually have a few, and we're gonna get through them now in this review segment.
We're gonna get through them. No, like we gotta get through this, I guess.
Yeah, so
I'm always excited for reviews.
I know. I feel like we're excited, but just like
it's fun to hear them.
It's cool. Don't worry about it.
I'm so scared. I'm so scared for these reviews. That wasn't the drop I wanted to do for this segment, but it's the one we're going.
Do you have
with.
the Godzilla drop that's just
No.
Do you have that?
Oh man, no. Okay. Sorry.
Just record that amazing that I just did. It'd be fine.
Right.
Okay. Sorry.
All right,
Get into it. What do we got?
Yeah. So we ask every week, to leave us your reviews, leave us your voicemails, and we'll see what movie we get. So full disclosure, we certainly check out Apple Podcasts. I think that's what we just first kind of focused on, because that's just what I think most people will go to. And Spotify doesn't exactly have like a way for you to review, at least as of right now that I'm aware of. So luckily, so there's other places though that you can review, and they're all valid and wonderful. And we just weren't aware of some of them, so we actually got an email to let us know about some reviews. And so, yeah, we're going to catch up on those. Let me get to the first one. So this is on Podcast Addict. So this is from Chloe. She says, it's a great way to enjoy horror movies vicariously through three awesome co-hosts. Gives a good analysis of the movies with some lighthearted comedy thrown in. Team Basement. Basements are 70% better than Addicts. Recommendation for a terrible, funny movie, Rubber. So 5-star. Yes. Thank you, Chloe. Thank you for your 5-star review. I do not thank you for your poor take on about Basements and Addicts, but we can't all look. If that's your only fault, I think you're doing great.
I'm just gonna say that I think I agree that definitely not what I would have said. You missed a couple zeros in that percent. 70% better, 700, 7,000. Maybe it was a typo. Other than that, fantastic. So
I mean, better in what regard? Better in summoning demons and unholy shit. Sure, I guess that's right.
It's more functional.
All right. Well, the debate will forever rage. But yes, thank you for your 5-star review. Rubber, honestly. We've had Rubber on there, and it's literally been just we've been waiting for this. So yeah, Rubber will be coming very soon. Lisa, I'm excited for you to watch Rubber.
I'm very pleased
like
that we get to watch this finally.
I mean, just if you're listening and you're not familiar, it's about a killer tire. That's all I'm going to tell you. A tire. Yeah. And Lisa, given the car trouble we've been running into lately, feels appropriate.
Oh, okay.
Feels like time. Feels timely. So
Lisa, this movie's like a tight, like I don't even know if it's like 75 minutes.
Yeah, it's
one of those.
Yeah.
So you should be happy, I think, with how this is gonna go.
And Chloe, I know we're gonna get into your review a little late, so you've been patiently waiting. So thank you. If yeah, let us know if you have a particular, you know, I guess if you want us to try to reach out to some of our previous unsuspecting victims for that one. That's a great one to share, and I don't think not all of our
that's a good one.
Our other friends have seen this. So let us know if there's a particular guest you'd like. We'll try our best to accommodate schedules, but we'll try and get that one up real quick. Let's go to a voicemail that was left. This one is from, well, I'll let him introduce himself.
Hey guys, this is Gary from Dallas. I want to tell you that I'm a big fan of your show. Just wanted Nate to know that I'm a big fan also of all the comedy and as well as his antagonizing skills. Great job, dude. And Mitch, man, we are brothers when it comes to the love of gore and horror films and wrestling too. Got to throw that in there as well.
Man.
And of course, Lisa, you're not last. I just got to say thank you for being the Wednesday of the Podcast Massacre family here in Texas. And also wanted to make sure you guys know that if you ever have any issues, please let me know. I am a phone call away because I've had way too many podcast breakups this year and last year. DTKC, Dave Schrader, Tim Dennis breakup. Oh, and I can't handle it. So if you guys ever have any issues, you need to work some things out, please contact me, because if you don't, I think I'm going to have to go off the grid and head to Crystal Lake. Thanks, guys. Have a good one.
I mean,
first off, very sweet. Thank you, Gary.
Yeah,
Yes. And I definitely I've always liked Adam's Family, so I'm more than happy to be the Wednesday.
Does that wait? So am I the Pugsley or am I Gomez? Am I Gomez and Nate's Morticia, or is it flipped? I don't know.
I don't think anyone would call me a Morticia. Look
Actually,
at me, they go,
considering I speak French, I guess it'd be more
what
me,
a graceful guy. No.
Yeah,
Said no one ever.
Yeah,
Said no one ever.
I think Nate's probably Gomez, and I'm probably Pugsley. I think that's probably the
No, I think you're Lurch.
What? Jesus.
I thought I was the antagonist. Damn, Lisa's just taking over all the slots.
I know.
I love it.
Look, we appreciate it. And yeah, we've look, podcasts, they come and go. People do their thing. We are we'll be happy to call and bitch about Nate or vice versa, I guess, if you really want to hear. It's a lot. There's a lot of baggage there. I don't know if you know what you're asking. No, but
Is this guy like a couples counselor? Like,
right. I'm worried we're gonna give Gary.
Dallas is pretty close. That could be a drive up. That's a long weekend. You know,
who wants to go to Dallas though? Jesus. You come to us. Come down to Houston. We'll hang out there.
Lisa, when Mitch makes you watch 17,000 horror films, how does that make you feel? Like, that's the lead off.
I'm worried that we're going to call, like, I'm worried we're missing, like, we're going to call Gary and then we're going to get like an invoice. It's like, yeah, these were my hourly rates for listening to that. No, hey, thanks so much for the very kind words. Yeah, we really appreciate it. Don't go to Crystal Lake. Better lakes out there, I would say. Maybe not in Texas. I don't know.
Not in Texas. But yeah, I mean, you go somewhere else. Yeah, and I just get more prompting to antagonize as much as possible. So I mean, I'm 100% down for that. Did we get a movie request in that?
No. This is a voicemail. Okay. So
throw a movie request. If you're gonna give us that many compliments,
if you're gonna call in, we'll add the call-ins as part of the.
Why don't we add Adam's Family in there? Why don't we add Adam's Family?
Oh, well,
perfect. Add it to the list.
Well, wait. So the first one or the second one? Because admittedly, the second one is better.
I'm fine with either.
Or do you go the animated ones? Let's go. Let's stick with the. Let's go to that.
We'll put an Adam's Family movie on the list.
Okay. No, for sure.
Perfect.
No, that's great. Yeah. Again, thanks, Gary. We really appreciate it. Thanks for calling in. Yeah.
The voicemails. I have to.
Mitch is gonna call you, but he's like, "I got car trouble again." You said if I needed anything. You said if I needed anything, and do you mind driving down from Dallas to hook a brother up with a tire change?
Yeah. All right. Well, look, we got one more review. Let's get to this one. So back on Podcast Addict, and look, we don't have a lot of reviews on Podcast Addict, so help us bump those ratings up. We did get one-star review at the end of 2020. Which was like on December 31st, which was same negative woke bullshit. which
Wow.
Mitch has been holding that in for so long.
Well, I mean, no, because I only just recently looked at like that's man. Look, 2020 was a hard year for everyone, my man. I don't know what episode you were listening to. Dav Z. Come check us out again. I'm sure.
Probably. What was the last episode we did? Okay, I'm looking. Last episode we did in 2020 was Santa's sleigh.
How was that? I don't know.
I don't know either. Oh,
right,
that's incredible. You watch. I mean, we loved Santa's sleigh.
For all the wonderful reviews we do get the ones where it's like, this, I'm disappointed y'all are Texan, and I'm like, well, we're not, but that's but no. Okay, but let's not talk about that. Help us bump these scores up. I mean, come on now. But no, we got one from it says Battery Hazard. Says you can't get any better commentary on horror films than TPM. Mitch and Nate have great chemistry. Lisa adds a fun tortured hostage victim flair that completes the puzzle. I'm
Mitch
all
and Nate
in.
Have great chemistry.
Yeah.
And then
And this one is I'm all in with this elite podcast. So
elite. Wow.
Yeah, I think
Or
those
the
are
Joe
I
Fla-
think
Joe
those are
Flacco
I think those are
of,
wrestling buzzwords. Nate, I know
okay.
you're part. You are the uninitiated.
I was going football. I was going the other direction.
Now, Lisa.
But, okay.
So for those that are maybe newer listeners, so Lisa and I are married. I always love in these reviews how the commentary on great chemistry is always Mitch and Nate, and not so much me and my wife. and it's not that it's not true. It's an interesting observation from other people.
This guy's gonna call back. At least misses one episode. This guy's calling. Wait, what happened, guys? I said anytime. What are you doing? Where's Lisa?
Oh God. All right. Well, look. So we got an email back. This is how I found out. So thank you. They forgot to put the movie choice, so they wanted us to review a movie called Aftershock. It's a 2012 film. I think it's. I don't want to say the wrong country. It's South American, I believe. But Eli Roth is in it, which leads me to believe that it's a terrible film. So
Maybe it's the Inglorious Bastards of 2012 South American horror films.
Yeah, it's a Chilean American disaster horror film. Maybe we get David on here for that one.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, that makes total sense.
Yeah, Eli Roth, his character's name is Gringo. So
that says,
oh my god,
this sounds very on brand. Yeah.
No. It's a
I'm gonna guess he gets
Chilean
decapitated.
American
He's gonna
disaster
die in this
horror
movie.
film.
He's gonna die in this movie. I'm just gonna guess decapitation off the bat.
He's gonna die
for gruesomely.
We do need to have more of like a South American, like and I don't want to loop the whole thing. We may pick a specific country, but do some more because I really would love to do the ruins at some point too.
Okay, sure.
That's an aside, and that's not one you necessarily have to. I'm not like Nate begging for a 5-star review for a movie no one wants to hear about.
No, but we could do a theme month because then we could throw Pan's Labyrinth in there too.
We could.
Oof. We could do a whole Guillermo del Toro like thing. Except
we really could.
The only problem is that Nate is going to want to watch the fish sex movie, and I don't know.
I'd go more OG. I go more OG than that. Like maybe Devil's Backbone or something.
Oh, Devil's Backbone is fantastic.
Yeah.
Anyway, so you're already gonna, but yes, Aftershock, boom, it's on the list. It's gonna be bumped up. I don't think next month we have or February, so this month, we have a theme month. So I think we'll try to get those two in here pretty soon, if not this month. That's it for our reviews. Of course, please, if you have a 5-star review, you can leave it anywhere, really. Apple Podcasts, Podcast Addict, wherever else, your own blog, honestly. Look, if you do it and we haven't mentioned it on the show, please email us at texaspodcastmassacre@gmail.com or message us on TX Pod Massacre on Twitter, Texas Podcast Massacre everywhere else. Let us know. We just don't always check everywhere. We're just not good at that. But please let us know. We want to see those. We're happy to talk about them, and we absolutely want to do the movies y'all want to hear. You can also leave us a voicemail, 346-246-3143. Yeah, man. Give us a call. Be cool like Gary, and come hang out with us and chat with us. I don't know. Nate, Lisa, anything you want to say before we get into this movie?
No,
I mean, there's a lot that I could say so that we don't have to talk about this movie.
Are you just trying to run out the clock?
No, you can't run out the clock.
Oh man.
Godzilla waits just like pollution in the earth. You can't run out the clock. All right. So
we did it to ourselves, Mitch.
Let's get into this week's movie of the week, which is Godzilla versus Hedorah. Who the hell knows? Godzilla versus Hedorah. Okay, so we don't like the trailer is again these older Japanese trailers are very much like noise and then text on a screen, so not the best radio. But we're just gonna get into it. Lisa, I mean, elevator pitch for this movie. Now this is like the 11th, I think, Godzilla movie.
Oh, I didn't look at which one it was. Ooh.
Yeah, I think I looked that part up. I could be wrong. Maybe like 7th. It's somewhere. It's a much later one. What was the elevator pitch for this one, Lisa?
Oh gosh. In a world where everyone knows who Godzilla is.
Damn it, Nate. Sorry, Lisa. Please go ahead.
And where people don't seem to want to move away when a giant monster is about to attack their town. One country, I don't know, gets torn up by a giant sludge monster.
Oh.
Okay.
Is that fair?
That's great, Lisa. Thank you.
I'd say fair. Yeah, I'd say fair.
Yeah, so let's Nate, I mean, just tell us what you want. Tell us about this one, right?
Godzilla vs. Hedorah came out in Japan in 1971. Came out in the U.S. Early in 1972. Tight 85 minutes. So can't complain too much. It's nice.
Nice
and brief.
We'll test that theory for you shortly.
And brief. This was the 11th film. You were correct. I had to make sure I double check it. And the director of this one was Yoshimitsu Banno, and this is the only one he directed because once you do this, like what you can't get any better, right? So just one and done. Like drop the mic. That's it. On either side of him in the other films was Ishiro Honda, who did the original Godzilla, and I believe the original Mothra, as well as Mothra vs. Godzilla and Ghidorah, the three-headed monster, which is one of the early classics. And Yun Fukuda, who did one of the other, probably my second favorite Godzilla movie, Abira, Horror of the Deep, and Godzilla vs. Mechagodzilla, a few years after this movie. Some of the actors are actually in other things. The professor or the doctor, Dr. Yano, Akira Yamanouchi, was also in Lone Wolf and Cub, Baby Cart in the Land of Demons. Are you aware of the Lone Wolf and Cub movies at all? Either of you?
Nope.
So basically like a wandering samurai with a little baby kicking the crap out of everybody in a bunch of movies.
I mean,
this is like on Bob's Burgers. That series that they watch.
Bob's Burgers is like this. This is like the original.
No.
There's
a series of movies they watch on Bob's Burgers that are a wandering samurai with a kid.
Yep, that's it.
There you go.
Yeah, so this guy in that as well. You got Toshie Kimura, who is in Battles Without Honor and Humanity, another very classic 1970s Japanese film. You got my boy Ken, the little kid, Hiroyuki Kawase, who was in Godzilla vs. Megalon 2 years later. He was in 2 Godzilla movies. And then he decided basically to not act anymore. Because
as one does.
Yeah, again, can't go anywhere but down at that point. And Yeah, another thing I wanted to mention, I guess, also is that director, now he didn't direct very many films, but he was the assistant director on some of the greatest Japanese films of all time, from Akira Kurosawa himself, Throne of Blood, Hidden Fortress, and The Bad Sleep Well, which are three of probably the best 50s and 60s Japanese films ever. So had some sort of pedigree, then got the reins, and then made this movie. So take that however you want. Some of the taglines for this film: creature of slime and sludge spawned by pollution's poison threatens to destroy the earth. That is wordy. Our environment is doomed. That's you have the complicated one and the simple one. Out of pollution's depths, it slithers, breathing poison, ... leaving a wake of deadly slime, ... destroying all in its path. They're basically just doing the synopsis for you in the tagline, which is nice of them. Yeah, that's it. I'll sprinkle in some of the other things about the film. But there was a sequel that was planned to this that did not see the light of day.
I did read about that.
Yeah, it's
and it was like
sad.
I think he already had it totally planned out and written, and then they were like,
and then they're like,
no.
Your movie was too out there. It was too good. It broke the mold so much and was so radical and ahead of its time that we're just going to go back to some very basic alien comes in, Godzilla fights it type movie. So unfortunate, but that sequel would have been incredible. Supposedly supposed to be set in Africa.
Yeah, so I mean,
which would have been awesome.
I guess my first question is this movie like about anything? It's I don't know if there's like a deeper meaning behind it. What did y'all pick up on anything? That's heavy sarcasm because this movie is about as subtle as the Purge movies.
Did you know the director went to the city of Yokkaichi, and there was black crap in the ocean and a bunch of like foamy sudsy stuff from like a detergent factory, and that was the impetus for making this movie. Would you have been able to guess that based on how the movie went? Probably. It's just about as subtle as
he could have filmed this shit in Galveston. It's about the same, but
yeah, this could be Galveston-esque for sure. Yeah, so incredible.
Incredible. Lisa, that's one word to describe it. How would you have described your experience with Godzilla versus
What in the hell was this movie? It was equal parts. Let's have an opening James Bond song.
Yep.
But also have that singer be in the movie.
Yep. I mean,
part after school, like educational special when he's like, do you know what an atomic bomb is? And then they go into like a whole description of it. We're doing this to ourselves.
Yeah.
And then just part Godzilla movie. It was
part
most
hippie culture, it's incredible.
Confusing thing ever.
Yeah. I have the lyrics to the end credit song, which I will get into later.
To the end credit song, or
which is incredible.
I mean, why do you need the end credit song? You've got this banger right here. There's some sweet trippy music in this movie. That's awesome. Yeah, the 70s were just a weird time in general.
Yeah, I could sing this song in my sleep. It's awesome.
Why would you sing that in your sleep?
I've seen this movie so many times. I could just.
Well, do you do the voices in your sleep? Are you doing like the high Kaizen?
Yeah, you got to go high and low. Come on, I mean, it's ridiculous.
Oh man, what if your wife did the high and you did the low, or vice versa?
Yeah, that's how you do it.
What if she like in your sleep and you don't even know she's doing it, but she's also singing?
It's catchy. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. At all.
I mean, look, this song or Tina Turner's Golden Eye. I mean, they're both pretty.
I'll take this one. Sorry, Tina.
That's blasphemy, and you know it. But
Okay,
anyway,
so
go.
the plot of this
Go
movie,
for it.
an alien kind of sludgy life form, gets to Earth on a shooting star, and is like, hey, there's all this like trash in the water because don't pollute, please. And then it feeds on that, gets huge, and then when it eats, it secretes acid everywhere in various forms. And I'm interested to see what you thought, Lisa, when the monster changed forms, because that's not a
it just kept evolving. It was like
evolving.
A freaking Pokemon.
It was awesome, right? Maybe Pokemon's based on this.
They were like, oh, I hope it doesn't become a land monster. And then all of a sudden it's a land monster. Oh, I hope it doesn't learn how to fly. Oh, wait, it can fly.
Oh, wait, it's basically a jet now. It was awesome. Don't worry, Godzilla basically becomes a flying monster briefly also. But yeah, so then takes out an oil tanker, right? Then the oil's in the water, eating it up, loving it. Attacks the doctor guy. You just get this guy's just eye patched from the word go. This guy's just like getting carted around. He's like so injured, right? Like, but the whole movie he's like the main person, but he's like laying in bed like half the time you see.
I love it.
It was awesome.
It's the best acting ever.
It was like, so good. This guy's just like, they have to like wheel him out. It's like, you can use the electricity, but he's just dying like the whole movie. Incredible. I loved it. Great main character. And then his son is just hilarious, basically a cheerleader for Godzilla, and helps his dad figure out.
I do love how in this
Hedorah
universe Godzilla already exists. He's just like, oh yeah, Godzilla's my favorite.
He's got a fan club, basically.
Yeah. Well, yeah, the kids got
action
the kids already got the action
everything.
figures.
Yeah. Save the Earth 100 times. I mean, he's even got like a wrestling move. He has like a wrestling taunt, basically.
Oh yeah, the little like mouth
movie.
thing, like where he
has like kind of like
his
his
mouth
hand like past his nose, like come on, let's start boxing. Like, yeah, I don't even know. But Godzilla's strength in this one, his strength doesn't really do much for this monster because it's just like really goopy. I love it. It's not like a traditional enemy. It's just like, yeah, I'm really goopy, and you punch me, and you just like go through me, and then some of the goop gets on your eye, and then your eye hurts. Everyone's eyes are hurting in this movie.
Because of the smog and the.
I know, and then like he's like spinning Hedorah around during the first fight, and like so much sludge is falling off him and just murdering like probably hundreds, if not thousands, of people. And then the sludge is like sentient. I mean, this is one of the more horror themed type Godzilla movies from this era. By this point, when you're in like over 10 movies, it just becomes kind of a character in like, big battles and whatever. But this one, why I like it, it's a little different. It has a message of don't pollute. And if you do pollute, then sentient sludge will come and murder you. So don't do that. So I like it. And there was a poor cat in the sludge. Lisa, did you catch that?
Yes.
But the cat did not die, I don't think, until maybe after, but it was off camera, so I don't think it counts. Yeah, I don't know. What did you think about Hedorah as an enemy for Godzilla? Like, what did you think? Looks real wild. Huge red eyes, changes form.
I would have loved to have seen them filming those fight scenes, especially when Hedorah was just flying. I was like, was that a balloon or what was that?
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah, it would just start flying and then having like acid, like this acid trails after it, just like murdering everyone. I mean, it was crazy. It was a worst case scenario for Japan, to be honest, in the film.
Yeah.
So, Lisa, I don't know if you know this, but obviously when Hedorah was in its land form, there was a person in there, right? As always in these older Godzilla films. And the guy who was the actor inside the Hedorah suit had to have an appendectomy while he was inside the suit because he had acute appendicitis. And the suit took so long to take off that the doctors had to do it while in the suit.
What? How? How is that even possible?
I don't know, but they did it. Movie got made. So
that's crazy.
I'm assuming they got another person. I did not see anywhere where it said how that happened, but that's wild. So maybe some of the scenes where he's flopping around are just kind of falling down. It could be appendicitis related.
No, he was in pain.
I don't know. I mean, because Hedorah in this movie is just like flopping down a lot, right? And then all of a sudden, like, you know, like kind of shedding the outer layer and then like going back into the ocean, kind of like launching like a tadpole back into the ocean, or like taking off like a rocket ship or like a spaceship or whatever. A lot of, you know, Hedorah falls down like a lot of times in this movie. It just like keeps going. It's like almost unstoppable. Mitch, what did you think about Hedorah the monster itself? The design, the you know, the move, what kind of moves it had? What did you think? As a worthy foe to Godzilla, or didn't care for it, or what? The monster design itself, I guess.
It's a good question. A monster design itself was pretty interesting. You know, I mean, obviously, look, the monster suit itself in a more practical sense is not great. But I mean, if you did that today, right, I think you can make it look real good. It reminded me a lot of Shoggoth or Shog. I don't know how to say it, but one of the H.P. Lovecraft creatures. It's like this big, just sort of like tendril blob thing with multiple eyes and everything. Like, you know, I could see it if it was more. I mean, obviously, look, we're talking about a movie that's made in like the 70s, right? It's a dude in a suit. Today, if you were doing that, I could see you making it more like amorphous, and it just keeps like kind of shifting, and you know, kind of eyes popping up everywhere, and you know, it's good. It's a good monster. I think they would have done better maybe if it had just been the damn smog monster from Fern Gully, The Last Rainforest. I think they perfected it there. If nothing else, if for
okay.
yeah,
okay.
No, you don't agree with that. No, all the Fern Gully fans out there listening,
Ferners, yeah,
the Fernies. I don't know. Hexus, that was the name of the
gulls.
Yeah. Plus, that song is just fire. But yeah,
the one in this movie or the one in Fern Gully?
In Fern Gully, Hexus' song,
man.
The Toxic,
I would,
Toxic Love, Tim Curry. Come on now. I mean,
I would flip that personally.
Boo. No, anything with Tim Curry is instantly better. 100%.
Okay. All right.
Maybe if Hedorah was acted by Tim Curry, I'd be back in on it. But frankly, the better version of this monster is Hexus from Fern Gully. I stand.
Interesting. I disagree, but I
Lisa, have you seen Fern Gully?
I can see that at least. I can see that though.
I mean, probably when I was a kid.
Yeah, it's but yeah. So then I guess let's talk about. So there's the boy and the doctor and his boy, right? And they're trying to figure out where Hedorah's from. You know, they're just doing experiments at their house while the doctor guy's laid up from getting sludge, like, you know, like scarring his body everywhere. Then they figure out from outer space and how to stop it. You know, just hanging out at home, having fun. And then there's also another. I must say teenager, early 20s, and there's a whole kind of hippie kind of subculture that's pro Earth, but then they're all messing with the Earth. So like, all right, if they're messing with the Earth, might as well party down and take drugs where everyone's face looks like a fish. So there's that part. Did anyone like that subplot? I thought it was fine. Hilarious. They had a sweet, bonfire party where then Hedorah murdered everyone. That was fun.
Yeah, seemed like poor planning.
It was poor planning. You know how we'll fight Hedorah and the pollution. Let's just like play our acoustic guitar.
So okay, well let me ask you this: which Hedorah form do you think was more like Like, which is the one that you'd rather have to contend with? You want walking sludge monster, swimming sludge monster, or flying sludge monster?
I do not want the flying one.
Flying
because of the
is,
acid rain, right?
Like impossible. It's like basically like an acid like gas, like just going everywhere. Like that's almost unstoppable. Godzilla had to go to great lengths in this movie, which we'll talk about, to catch up to the flying form of Hedorah in a very ridiculous scene. I would say probably the ocean one is probably the easiest one to deal with. There's a lot of ocean, and it was already kind of polluted anyway, right? So I mean, maybe that's where you can.
Well, I just feel like it would grow like
know.
so massive in the ocean, right? More so than on land.
That's true. This is one where Godzilla probably could have used Mothra's help. Like another.
You would need all the damn kaiju to help with this one.
Mothra needs a couple of more cameos in some of these later movies. Kind of ditched Mothra after a while, but yeah, Mothra would have been helpful for the air. It could have had an air and land, air and sea combo. Probably would have dealt with Hedorah a lot easier. There's some actual peril for Godzilla in this one. Godzilla falls into like a sludge tub, like of earth, and you're like, oh man, Godzilla might be like. I mean, Godzilla's not going to die, but you're like, yeah, this is problems.
Yeah, he had trouble.
Yeah, they're definitely not. It was challenge. It made it really challenging in the film, which again I appreciated. Normally it's like a little bit, but this one was like, oh man, like this guy might just drown in sludge. Like that's brutal. I don't know. It was I don't know, everything about this I like. I will say that Roger Ebert said this was his favorite Godzilla movie too. So.
Really?
I can I can sum up my issue with this movie, and I don't know if that's necessarily the same with all the old Godzilla movies, but maybe so in retrospect. Honestly, it's my issue with the new ones too. I don't care about the humans in this whatsoever. All that is useless. I don't know why we keep
boy.
Going,
you don't like the little boy?
Why? Okay, why are we going to this 70s disco club or whatever to watch a sludge thing go down the steps and then immediately rescind? Like, it doesn't do anything.
It's threatening. It's always threatening, just like when you pollute the environment.
Oh my god!
It's always on the edge of your periphery. And it only matters to you when you actually
we get the we get the message. You get diminishing returns when you keep bashing in what you're trying to talk. Like, oh, this is all I don't know. The scenes with, Godzilla and Hedorah were decent for what it was. I mean, again, it's hard to watch it now if you didn't have like just a deep seated love for all the old Godzilla movies. Particularly, I think like imagine if they did this one now, right? With the new like thick Godzilla, right?
That'd be awesome.
It would. I feel like they could do it justice. Although I'd have the same complaint probably in that, like I did with the other guys. It's like, I don't really care about the humans in this. Can we just get to the monsters fighting? Like we get it. And I think it's because the humans are just so inconsequential in these movies.
Well, no, the boy and the doctor solved how to stop Hedorah at the end. Come on.
There was a lot of filler with other people in this movie.
Look, if you're gonna have filler, at least have a trippy, awesome music scene in a club where a guy, I'm pretty sure, takes drugs and has everyone.
You're pretty sure.
I'm pretty sure. I didn't see it happen, but everyone had fish heads on, so it seems likely. That was a nice subplot. There was random cartoons in there. Did you like that, Lisa?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Cartoons? It was like a school. Oh, let's throw some learning in here.
They do an interview with a scientist on TV as part in the world of the movie, where it says Hedorah was first, like the first phase is like a card, right? It shows like in the water. Another phase was on the land. Other was on the air, and the next one just has a question mark.
Wait, is this movie in the
I was like,
Criterion
what
collect-
is? They can't even figure it out inside of the movie they've written. This is awesome. Loved it. Oh, so good.
This movie is also in the Criterion collection. God damn it.
All of them are. All of them are. All of the Showa era, the original era movies are in one big box set.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yes. So they're all there with varying degrees of special features, which I kind of have the point of contention with, but
Sure.
that's a different story. Anyway, but yeah, it's a rough. I mean, in terms of how many people die in these Godzilla movies, it's always really hard, right? Because like 10,000 buildings fall down, like how many people died. But I feel like in this movie, like all of a sudden, like by the kid at one point, there's just like a skeleton. Do you remember that? Like the person died like so much from this pollution that it ate away at their entire body except their skeleton. Like you've never seen that in a Godzilla movie before. Someone getting so corroded from something that they're a skeleton. It's always just like, people running away screaming and buildings falling down and stuff. But this made it a little more personal again, which is why I liked it. It was it kind of was a Houseu-esque, Mitch, in a way. All of a sudden this monster just comes in and someone just turns it right into a skeleton. It's like, all right, it's not bananas, but we're moving toward that direction. So I did appreciate that. Any commentary on the fight and then the final fight also?
I don't know. Look,
A+ loved it. No notes.
I'll let Lisa. Lisa, what do you think?
No notes. Good job, Godzilla.
I did love how the kid kept saying, "But why is Godzilla here? Godzilla's here? Why? What happened? Kid, there's a giant sludge monster killing all of you. That's why Godzilla is there.
That's why you're not in school right now. All right, come on." Yeah, I don't know.
Also, I do not understand how Hedorah killed thousands of people. They just keep reporting on it. And they're like, but we won't evacuate yet. We'll wait it out.
Well, yeah.
It's my same issue with every monster movie. Once they show up, guess what? Don't go to dinner. Leave.
Yeah. Going out to dinner, probably not the best. I mean,
I
again, if you're going to go out,
the most recent one or whatever, but there's like literally a scene with people at dinner and the monster's outside the window. And I was like, you fools knew this thing was here. What the hell are you doing?
Yeah. I mean, I
the final fight scene was fine. I think all the fight scenes were fine. I kept expecting the movie to be over. Every time there was a fight scene, I was like, oh, nope, we're going to keep going. Okay.
It was only 85 minutes. You expected it to end.
It was 85 minutes too long, Nate.
I know. It was an interesting way. So like normally when when Godzilla would kill somebody, it would just be like, all right, you just punch them a million times, right? Or whatever, or cut their head off or something. In this one, they had to use like a complex Rube Goldberg machine of like mirror setups to get Godzilla's nuclear
to
dehydrate the enemy. I mean, come on, you're not going to see this in any other kind of movie like this. This kind of like, I have to dry out this thing to win. Like that is just, I mean, I thought it was awesome. Like that's a novel way to take out somebody. Like I really got to like make this dude real dry. That's how I'm going to win. And then not only make the person dry, but like punch it 10,000 times in a row while it's dry just to make sure it's dead because it pissed me off so much. Oh, I loved it. I think, how many times do you think Godzilla hit this thing while it was on the ground at the end of the movie?
Oh my gosh.
I would say conservatively like 30.
An endless amount.
It was so many. Like ripped out like all of its organs and like threw them all and stomped a million times. I mean, it was incredible. Like it was the reverse of like like a horror movie with the slasher. Like, oh yeah, I'm sure they're dead. No, he made damn sure this thing was not coming back. I I don't know. I loved it. I thought it was good. And then the eye patch guy was there just making sure everything was good. So yeah, I feel like I'm the only one talking. I feel like maybe it should have been a solo. It should have been a solo episode, right? Just gush about the entire
maybe
early Godzilla movies.
You know, look, is it the worst movie I've ever seen in my life? No, I agree with Lisa though. It's even at 85 minutes, it's just long, and it's weird too because this movie gives us so much Godzilla time. Like Godzilla's in this movie a lot, and yet somehow and I don't know, maybe that's why it drags, or it feels like it drags a little bit in some spots because like Godzilla shows up multiple times to fight this monster, and it just keeps happening.
Well, no, because the monster keeps mutating.
I get it. No, look,
it's a
Nate,
different engagement. Each
I
time,
understand what's happening.
Yeah,
I get it.
Yeah.
At the same time, at the fourth fight of two dudes in monster suits, I'm just.
Well, you're not even going to mention how Godzilla uses nuclear breath to fly through the air to catch up to flying Hedorah. You're not even going to mention that amazing scene. And there's like an army song that's playing like kind of at the same time, like that while it's happening. I mean, come on, how can you even skip over that?
Yeah, I guess I just kind of did. I don't know. Like, I don't know.
First time I saw that, I was like, no, they can't. No, they did. No, they can't. They shouldn't.
No, Nate, when was the first time that you watched this film?
I mean, sometime during the early pandemic, so maybe like
okay, so really wasn't that long ago. Okay.
Yeah, no, I'd never seen it before. I'd seen the original and maybe Mechagodzilla, maybe one on there, but yeah, look, I hadn't seen it.
Maybe it's just because this is coming off the tail of just, and pun intended, of three just solid Japanuary films. But I don't know. I got to this one, it was just like, hey,
in the spirit of Onibaba presents Godzilla vs. Hedorah. That's how they should have opened it. Then now we'd be talking.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah, okay. I love this one more than you guys. But
let's talk about. Look, in general, I mean, these movies aren't exactly hard to plot out, right? Monster shows up, everyone's terrified. Monster wrecks shit. Godzilla shows up. Godzilla and monster fight. Godzilla's victorious.
Well, monster mutates.
Doesn't matter. Still same beats.
People contemplate their use of fossil fuels and pollutants in their everyday lives.
Yeah, but the ending, it's not like they did anything to change at the end. At the end, Godzilla just like looks at all the pollution and garbage and then looks at mankind and just like has that I'm not mad, I'm disappointed look.
Your shit. Yeah, exactly. Which is awesome that Godzilla could have that look.
Godzilla should have just wiped out everyone. That would have been the appropriate response to this movie. Is like, you know what? Fuck y'all. How many times do I have to save you from some fucking alien monster?
Yeah, it's been a lot. It's been like, a lot of times.
Oh, you created me with your nuclear radiation, and now you created this with your pollution that you've you know what?
Well, no, this wasn't alien.
Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, you're all gonna get nuclear breath blasted.
After a while, Mitch, they really went away from the nuclear stuff. They just went straight alien. And spoiler alert, all the aliens speak Japanese. I don't know.
Yeah, but look, this alien is surviving because of what Americans, what the world is doing in pollution, right? I mean, this is a monster of somewhat of our own making.
Well,
right?
If you thought that this movie wasn't a call to action, let me read you the credits of the end song that's called Return the Sun, Save the Earth. Islands, fish, where have you gone? Dragonflies, butterflies, where have you gone? Mercury, cobalt, cadmium, lead, sulfuric acid, oxidants, cyanogen, manganese, vanadium, chromium, potassium, strontium, filthy polluted oceans, filthy polluted air, living things will no longer exist. Field mountains become silent. On the earth there is nobody around who can cry. Return, 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 return. Green, blue skies return. Return, return, return. Blue seas return, return. Return, 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 return. Life, the sun, return. So that's the first.
How
part
did
of
we
that.
get the 1-star same negative woke bullshit review? I'm checking IMDb now. I want to see a user review with that exact same.
Hey, this is one of the higher rated Godzilla movies in the franchise on IMDb. 6.1, baby. Oh yeah. Yeah, that's the first half of the end credit song. And then there's also a Save the Earth. I'm not going to go in there, but at one point it says, too many fumes in our oxygen. All the smog now is choking you and me. Good Lord, where is it going to end? Got to get it back someday. Got to get it back, and soon now. There you go. So, and then at the end it says, and the solution to stop pollution, save the earth. I love this movie so much. Yeah, so that's the end of the movie over credits and it shows pollution in the water on some part of the credits. So there, in case you missed it in the beginning of the and middle and end and every part of the movie, there's your message.
I wonder how much they paid to make that song. They're like, we got to get our money's worth.
Yeah, I need to see like who wrote that.
I don't know.
Would be incredible to figure out like who wrote that song. Was it like an existing poem or was it like original to the movie? I didn't get that deep into it, unfortunately. I wish I would have.
It was called Save the Earth, right?
Yeah, it was. It's Return the. It's like a 2-part. Return the Sun and then Save the Earth.
Oh, like Return the Sun. It's all by the same guy. So the music's by Rishiro Manabe. The lyrics are by Yoshimitsu Banno. Sung by the Honey Knights and the Moondrops.
Oh, the lyrics were from the director. Okay, yes.
Yeah.
There you go. So there you go. See, this guy, how did they not get this guy a second movie? This guy writes the lyrics to the songs and directs the film and writes the film. Come on. This guy's triple threat here. I don't understand what they were thinking.
On that note, let's get to the final cut.
What were they thinking?
Final cut.
What are you about to say, Nate?
No, I'm just saying, what were they thinking?
Nate, just you start. Look, we know where this is going. Nate, why don't you start? Because I've got some thinking to do. Lisa, I don't know if you are set or where you're at.
I'm not sure.
Okay. So I'll lead off with, I've seen this movie. I would conservatively say with my son over 20 times.
Okay. When you told me that, that's why I was so positive you'd seen this way before the pandemic. So this
No, we were in a phase, and it just kept happening. It just kept happening. So yeah, and I still like the movie. So I don't know what that says about me that I've seen it so many times and I still like it. It's out there. It's different. That's part of the appeal for me. This is just not and I watched all the other ones. So this one really stands out in comparison too, because it actually has, a message about it. It actually is kind of doing some weird, kind of more disturbing, to be honest, stuff than a standard Godzilla movie would, where they're just like the aliens are going to take over, and the aliens at a theme park. They made a Godzilla theme park, and then inside the theme park thing, they made a robot. It wasn't actually a robot under the, I was just like, okay, what are we even doing here? So yeah, comparison to that, love it. I'm gonna give it 8 out of 10 fish heads.
Oof, that is high
I like
praise.
this movie. I like this movie a lot. Favorite Godzilla movie. Roger Ebert and I, basically the same person in terms of film critique.
Oh my god!
And we both think it's our favorite. So there you go.
Lisa, where's your head at with this right now?
Raise the bar.
No, you go first, Mitch.
No. I picked you first.
This is what we need to call. We need to call that guy. I'll get him on the phone.
I've got it. Look,
here?
As the other horror fan, and the one that's decidedly on the fence. I have Nate's the horror fanatic. This is his favorite movie. I have his view. I need an unsuspecting victim view to help me make my decision on where I sit with this.
Nate, what did you just say? Tell me the number again.
It's 8 out of 10.
Oh boy.
Oh boy.
Love this. Can we do a whole Godzilla month and they're all the old
No.
ones? Oh, I could pick 4 just gems. Gems. Oh, that'd be great.
I don't know. It wasn't great. I'll give you that much.
So you're telling me there's a chance?
A chance of what?
I don't know.
I'll probably give it a 4 out of 10.
Oh, okay. That's a lot higher than I thought. All right.
Yeah.
I like it.
It's not scary by any stretch of the imagination.
I mean, it's never. I mean, it's Godzilla. It's never going to be like
not at all.
But
no,
yeah, that's all I have to say.
Yeah. So I gotta start out my feelings here. I gotta here.
Wow,
all right.
okay.
So yeah, no. Look, if you're looking for a horror film, I agree with Nate that this is a creepier. I mean, this is certainly a creepy monster. And the fact it's the evolution that really makes it work. Because if it's just the random sludge like tadpole thing, then we probably wouldn't be here talking about this.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know that it's any more memorable than Ghidorah or really, I mean, any of them, right?
No, it's more memorable. Ghidorah was there like 100 times. They
Yeah,
beat
but
him 100 times.
I don't know. I think what I come back to with this is I feel like this movie was somewhat ahead of its time. I don't think that I look, he had this message. I think what really works against it is the beating over the head about it. Like it's not clear. I don't know. Maybe in 1974 this was,
71.
70, regardless, the early 70s. I don't know. It's I don't know. I don't like. I've been on here saying I'm not really usually a fan of like straight remakes, but I would almost think that this is a prime candidate for it. I feel like this movie could be vastly improved with just like a little bit of nuance and just a little bit better like graphics and character, like that piece of it, right? I think you can make this like super terrifying. But as it stands, I mean, look, if I'm going to watch a movie that's talking about the dangers of pollution and jacking at the rainforest, then I'm going to watch Fern Gully because it is the same monster.
Fern Gully, heavily inspired by this film.
Maybe. Well, they improved on it.
This is the original.
God, I just
Captain Planet probably stole off this. And come on.
If I'll say this, if you watch Godzilla films and you're like, where's Godzilla? Don't worry about that. You're gonna get a lot of Godzilla. Godzilla certainly is. If you're okay, look, the wrestling fans that listen to this podcast, if you're looking for like a very even matched kind of fight, I mean, this is it, right? You're gonna get that. I don't know. This just for whatever reason, I'm having trouble articulating it, Nate. This one just was a slog to get through.
It was like walking through sludge.
It was. It really was. Just knee deep, trying just to get through. I'm gonna give. It wasn't terrible, but it was just it. I am gonna give this movie 5 out of 10 nuclear breath jump attacks.
Okay. I like that. It's very specific.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah, right. It's not the worst film. I don't know. I'm having a very difficult time articulating with this one why I was just like, I don't know. I think it was probably just too long. I don't know.
Too long. Okay, what is the ideal length that this movie could have been? It's 85 minutes. What could we even have done here?
15 minutes. Just cut out all the bullshit with the 70s disco club. Cut out all the weird animated drawings that they then because it's like they had these animated cartoon shit where they're talking about all the pollution and stuff, and they're showing like the monster like sucking on the smog from the factories, and then they immediately have the kid and the boy, or the boy and his dad and uncle talking about it. So I'm getting that same information twice every single time it comes back from a fight.
Okay, I can see that. I can see that.
Yeah.
That might be the only critique of this film. You're right. That's a good point.
Look, I think this movie has a lot of potential. Right. I think this
it came out like 50 years ago.
I know. Well, I know. And I'm just saying, I think this movie has
this needs to be remade.
I do think so.
You're saying this needs to be remade for sure.
If you had the same, like the new Godzilla fighting this thing and you really just went above and beyond on like just creepifying the hell out of this sludge monster, hell yes, it would be terrifying. It would be great. And it was just, look, sometimes that happens. It's okay. But yeah. Sorry, Nate.
No, that's fine. No, that's I respect your opinion. I'm announcing this is the last episode we're breaking. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh no. We gotta check on Gary.
Terrible Hedorah takes.
Yeah, we gotta check in from Dallas. I'm worried.
That was the last. He's driving down right now. No, no, it's an acquired taste. I know that. It's just, man, if you watch all the other ones, you're like, this one really stands out. And I like the weird choice, bold choice taking. Even if it isn't necessarily like 100% hit, I love the enthusiasm. And I love the creativity and just like the bonkers going for it in general. So that definitely is what resonates with me more than some of the other ones.
Yeah, for sure. And honestly, Nate, I mean, talking about it, I feel more positive about it than when I was actually watching it. Like, it wasn't like I came back to it. It was like talking about it, I feel generally favorable about it. But when I watched it, it just felt like a slog.
Yeah.
And I'm good. Yeah. And I'm with you. I mean, look, House 2 is great for the reason is that it's totally bonkers. But I guess because maybe it wasn't so like beating you over the head about the.
Well, you're inside the Godzilla, universe. There's producers, managing the Godzilla brain.
Sure.
Probably wanted to go farther. And I would have again, I think in the sequel, that could have been an option to use some of those maybe out there ideas that didn't get used this time. I would have loved to have seen that because that would have been cool. Unfortunate. But
all right. Well, look, that's gonna wrap it up for this week's episode and for Japanuary. We've flown back to the States. We're sayonara to the to our friends in the East.
We jumped over the hole. We dodged the smog monster. We got out of our girl band. And we
transitioned from being a pop star.
And we filmed the whole thing. There you go. That's the whole Japanuary right there.
Now we're gonna make a human pyramid in the backyard and call it a day. Nate, where can they find us?
You can find us as always at TX Massacre on Twitter, Texas Podcast Massacre everywhere else. Give us a 5-star review. Apple Podcasts, Podcast Addict. I don't know what the other podcast ones are. Google Podcasts. That's a thing. I know that. I don't think Spotify has ratings, unfortunately. If you listen on a platform that does not have reviews, just send us an email, texaspodcastmassacre@gmail.com, or give us a call, 346-246-3143. Let us know. We are going to use our listeners in kind of a general kind of services way, right? So we have the couples counselor now in the in the tank. Is there someone who paints houses? Can we get that person to call in? What do you guys need? You guys need a mechanic, it sounds like, right?
Yes.
Okay, we need a mechanic to call in. So I'm expecting now some of the different career paths to call us and let us know they can help. But we do appreciate people calling and giving us reviews. It's awesome that people think that we are cool for some reason. So really,
I don't think anyone
really
said cool. I just want to make sure I'm not putting words in people's
mouths.
No one has said. No one has said
Wednesday's cool. Wednesday Addams is cool. Come on, that's
fair.
There's no contest there.
Absolutely.
But yeah, so catch us there. And then, so some of those, if you want us to do a movie, that's the best way to do it. We are rubber on the list. Human Centipede 3, Still on the list. Don't worry about it. They keep trying to push it back, but we're going to eventually watch it. Aftershock with Eli Roth sounds terrible. Doesn't matter. On the list. So, yeah, keep them coming.
All right. Well, look, that's going to wrap it up. From all of us here at Texas Podcast Massacre, thank you so much for tuning in. And just keep telling yourself, it's only a movie. Good night.